Good evening, and thank you for joining us this evening. At this time, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Susan Schneff. I am the proud vice principal of the Mustang Academy, our 9th grade at Clifton High School. And I would like to welcome you to the 33rd Annual Distinguished Academic Awards Dinner. At this time, I would ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing when we're done for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For one moment, for peace in our world. Thank you. You may be seated. Well, we're back. Someone asked me just before how many times I have done this. I'm afraid it's going to show my age, more so than half the parents here were my students, but I've estimated that since 1999, with the exception of 3 years, I have been working or running this dinner. And I want to tell you, the energy and the enthusiasm in this room tonight is infectious, and I want to thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Tonight, Clifton High School administration, the Board of Education, faculty, staff, and the entire Clifton community are here to once again honor Clifton's finest. 867 students qualified this year for the Distinguished Academic Awards Dinner. That's more than 25% of our student population. Now, these students have chosen to make academics their priority. Now, I see students, people at this table here, we see students every day. And every day we see them take on a new task. We see them take on a new challenge. We see them take another step in their educational journey. These students work beyond the challenges that were before them, and they never give up on themselves. This year's senior class is the last high school class to have had the direct impact of the pandemic. And although our students, they learned high school quickly and on a screen, they never gave up. And in that year, they learned a lot about themselves. Our seniors took the giant step in their educational career in the worst circumstance, and they showed everybody what they can do. I truly believe that if you ever have the privilege of spending time in the halls of Clifton High School, there is a collective inner strength that bonds the students, not just the students here tonight, but all the students in our school community. We see it on the athletic fields, we see it on the stages, in the classrooms, and we see it with their work out in the community. It is the knowledge that whatever we put before them, they can handle it. They may challenge us a little bit in the beginning, just a little, but they can handle it. So tonight, we honor those students. And we also salute their families who have guided our honorees on their journey to academic excellence. Now, we know it's not an easy road for many. However, there's no greater joy as an educator as seeing a child mature and grow up and succeed. I know how proud I am of all of you tonight, so thank you. I would like to thank Mr. Weissmantel, our choir director, for performing as you were coming in this evening and giving us that beautiful music. So The students here tonight have maintained an 89.5 average in 3 of their last 4 marking periods. And a lot of people question, why was this designed this way over 30 years ago? And the reason was they wanted academic continuity. So the students who qualified tonight from the 3rd and 4th marking period of last year and the 1st and 2nd marking period of this year, 3 of those 4 marking periods, they've maintained that academic integrity. And within that, they have challenged themselves and gone maybe from a college prep course to an honors course, or challenged themselves with college courses, or challenged themselves in taking that course that they weren't sure they could handle. They were able to do it and maintain that integrity. We are honored to have with us tonight Mr. Mark Gengaro, our Assistant Superintendent of Schools, our members of the Board of Education, Mr. Hamda, our principal, my fellow administrators, our supervisors who have been so generous to help us out, and we are especially honored to have with us this evening Mr. Joseph Hathaway, member of the class of 2005, who is going to share with us some of his thoughts and reflections since his days in the halls of Clifton High School. So, before I get underway with the evening, there's a couple things we have to go over. The Committee of the Westmont requests that you keep this front area clear and the doorways clear so we can serve food expeditiously. And if you need pictures of your child after, please don't do this in someone's face or lean across Mr. Gengaro's salad. We would appreciate that. It's been done in the past, don't laugh. But we're going to leave the dais all set up for about a half hour after the event so you can come up and get pictures in front of the banner. The next thing, there are 1,122 people in this room, not including waitstaff. So, here's what I ask. I know I'm loud. My mother has told me numerous times. However, quiet conversations become very loud in a room of this size. So there will be plenty of time to have dinner table conversation later in the evening during the dinner break. So I ask that you please be courteous. And also, as we're calling the students up by name, please hold applause until the last student is called. We're reading out almost 500 names tonight. If we applauded for everyone, we'd be here till 2 a.m. And I love you guys, but I got to get my sleep. So if you would, we'll hold applause till everybody gets their name announced. Now, it's time for us. It's time to say, I don't need another car warranty call. I don't need to know what time my dentist appointment is. They can leave me a message. Please silence your phones, sit back, enjoy this wonderful, wonderful evening that we have. And finally, I ask that you stay for the entire program, because the culmination of this night is when our seniors and our four-year seniors come up to receive their medals. So, without further ado, it is my privilege to introduce a past academic award recipient, and now the principal of Clifton High School, Mr. Ahmad Hamda.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. President Alan Paris and members of the Board of Education, Assistant Superintendent of School, Mr. Gengaro, Assistant Superintendent of Business, Mr. Shahada, colleagues, parents, family, friends, and most importantly, this year's recipients of the Clifton High School Distinguished Academic Awards honors. I am honored and humbled to be surrounded by the absolute best that Clifton High School has to offer. I'd like to also recognize the members of my team that are in attendance. My vice principals, Mrs. Rogers, Mr. Kozier, Mr. Waka, Mr. Keegan, and of course, Mrs. Schneff, without whom this beautiful event would not be put together. So thank you, Mrs. Schneff. I also want to recognize some department supervisors who are in attendance, Mr. Vienna, Ms. Bergman, Ms. Hempel, and Mrs. Jager. Thank you for all of your help and everything that you do for our students. Tonight, we celebrate the outstanding achievements of our top students, whose dedication and hard work have earned this prestigious recognition. Congratulations to all of our award recipients. Your commitment to excellence and passion for learning have brought you to this moment. As Aristotle once said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but rather a habit. You have made excellence your habit, and we are incredibly proud of you. I also want to acknowledge the invaluable support of the parents, teachers, and mentors who have guided our students. Your encouragement and belief in these young minds have been crucial to their success. Our students have faced challenges head-on, tackling each one with determination and grace. Your resilience in turning obstacles into opportunities is truly commendable. As we honor your academic achievements, I urge you to remember the importance of giving back to the community. Your success not only brings pride to your school and your family, but also places you in a position to make positive impact on those around you. Use your talents and knowledge to uplift others and continue to better our society. In closing, continue striving for excellence, exploring new possibilities, and never stop learning. Success is not a destination, but a journey. Keep pushing boundaries and making differences. Congratulations once again to all of our award recipients. You have made us all incredibly proud. Enjoy this evening and your well-deserved recognition. Thank you and have a wonderful night. If you guys could please help me in welcoming our valedictorian, Ashi Rana.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for, sorry. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending the Academic Awards Dinner. Congratulations to all of you, as your hard work and dedication has proven itself by your presence here tonight. Several years ago, I would have never imagined speaking in front of an audience this large, and even less, becoming valedictorian. When I first entered CHS in my freshman year, I was disorganized, to say the least. I was used to spending my days during quarantine, as many of you might relate, watching hours of long videos on the internet and on FaceTime calls with my friends. I wasn't used to making schedules or to-do lists, and certainly not used to taking neat notes. Although it would make sense for me to now denounce these old customs of mine and say that I've done a 180, that wouldn't be entirely true either. My classes here at CHS have certainly motivated me to become more responsible and academically inclined. Still, more than that, they made me realize that balance is key. It is true that I've become a better note-taker thanks to AP US History, and my time management skills have improved due to AP Psychology. At the same time, however, Algebra 2 and Chemistry have led me to realize the importance of collaborating with others for the sake of learning, even if it is in the midst of a few FaceTime calls. Through AP Language and Literature through Film, I learned that education can be found anywhere, even while watching entertaining movies. And most of all, from Girls Who Code and studio art, I have come to understand that even the smallest of passions are worth pursuing. Never let go of having fun, because you can always have fun while learning. So to those of you who might be burned out or feel like a disorganized mess, don't lose hope. What is most important is finding back your love for learning. It is with that love of learning that we can see the beauty in our education and in our lives. Thank you, and have an amazing dinner.
I have had the privilege of working with this next gentleman for probably 20 years. And although he doesn't have his sidekick Chewy with him tonight, I'm sure you'll recognize him without Chewy. So ladies and gentlemen, our Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Mark Jangaro.
Of course, when Sue did say that Chewy's not here, I heard a few boo that man from the back, so thank you for that, ladies and gentlemen. And I promise you, please bear with me throughout the duration of this speech. The last time I checked, somewhere around the 16.5-minute mark is where it really picks up. So if you can make it with me that long, you're in for a hell of a treat. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished guests, and most importantly, our honorees. As Assistant Superintendent of Schools, it is an absolute privilege to stand before you in this monumental occasion. Tonight we celebrate perseverance, dedication, hard work, and academic excellence. These are not merely qualities that make for successful students, but also that make for successful humans. Your accomplishments are a testament to your commitment to getting the most out of your educational opportunities, as well as your relentless desire to be the best that you can be. But as we celebrate your achievement, honorees, please take a moment to remember those who have supported you. To the parents and families of our honorees, your love, your guidance, and encouragement have been instrumental in their success. And to the teachers and staff who have equipped our students with the tools they need to excel, the students honored tonight are a result of your dedication and commitment. I would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to recognize the dignitaries who provide our district with an unwavering amount of support. From our Board of Education with us, we have President Alan Paris, Vice President Dr. Lucy Danny. It goes alphabetically, guys. Commissioner Judith Basford. Commissioner Mark Brunsiak. Commissioner Joe Canova. Commissioner Richard Mejia. Commissioner Anthony Santiago. Commissioner Joseph Ciano. And last but not least, Commissioner Tanya Suarez. I would also like to recognize members of the Central Administration. With us tonight, our Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mr. Ahmed Shahada. And somewhere hiding, the amazing and lovely Heather Rotolo, our Director of Special Services. Your support and dedication and our commitment to our students is greatly appreciated and does not go unnoticed. But to our honorees, just take a moment to look around the room. We talk about Clifton being such a diverse community. And as Dr. Robertosi often states, our diversity is our strength. You are a unique set of individuals from all walks of life. Some might be athletes who are literally arriving to the event from practice or a game. Some may be musicians or artists. Others may have been here in Clifton since birth, while others have joined the One Clifton learning community from other towns, states, or even countries later in their academic journey. But you all share one primary characteristic: the value you place on academic achievement. No matter who you are or where you're from, you have made the necessary sacrifices to be honored here at this event tonight. And I'm sure those sacrifices did not come easy. There may have been some times where it was hard, where you failed, maybe felt like giving up, or even considered taking the easy way out. But you continue to work and continue to work hard. I'm constantly reminded of a quote from a great New York Yankee. And for you Mets fans, unfortunately, I'm sorry, there's nobody notably from that franchise worth quoting. So we're going to stick with the captain, Derek Jeter, who once said, "There may be people of more talent than you, but there's no excuse for anyone to work harder than you." He further says that the last thing you want to do is finish playing or doing anything and wish you could have worked harder. Well, every student in this room has demonstrated a strong work ethic, and that has made all of the difference now and in your promising futures. Don't ever stop working hard and never be outworked. It is the hallmark of your success. Once again, I congratulate our esteemed honorees for their outstanding academic achievements. Your hard work and determination have brought you to this point, and we cannot wait to see the trail you will blaze as you continue on your path. Once again, congratulations. You ready? And the 16.5-minute mark is right now. At this time, I would like to introduce our President of the Board of Education, Mr. Alan Paris.
Mine's only 20 minutes. Welcome, esteemed faculty, proud parents, administration, and most importantly, our exceptional high school Distinguished Academic Award recipients. As the president of the Clifton Board of Education and a proud CHS alumni, it's an honor to be here to recognize and celebrate your achievements. My heartfelt congratulations go out to each of you. Your dedication, hard work, and learning allows us to celebrate not only your academic accomplishments, but also your commitment to being your very best. As we're here to honor your academic achievements, I urge you to remember that success is not solely measured by grades and test scores. While important, they're a piece of a much larger puzzle. Character, integrity, and empathy are equally vital components of success. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Character is like a tree, and reputation like its shadow. The shadow is what we think of it. The tree is the real thing." Your character is your mark on the world. It leaves behind a legacy far more enduring than any achievement or accolade. Remember that true success is not measured by what you accomplish for yourself, but by what you contribute to others and the world around you. Congratulations on your academic success. I'd like to end with a challenge to you, a challenge to continue to be lifelong learners and also uphold the values of integrity, honesty, and respect in everything you do. Let your character be the tree and not just a shadow. Through your words and actions, leave a lasting legacy of good and inspiration to others. Congratulations, all.
Thank you, Mr. Paris. By the way, a proud parent of an academic award recipient, so the generations are coming on. It's wonderful. As our freshmen are getting lined up, if you'll indulge me for a moment, for those of you who have been to a few of these dinners, you know I tend to quote a very wise woman in my life, and that's my almost 97-year-old mother. She's always questioning, "What are you going to say about me?" I said, "Well, your guess is as good as mine, depends upon the day." But anyway, so we were chatting on Mother's Day, and my sisters and I were all together, spouses, children, grandchildren, and we were talking about the terrible jobs we have had in our lives. And like my husband chopped bait on a fishing boat. I don't know about you, that one ranks up there. So Mom was talking about the different jobs she's had over her 90-some plus years. And she said, well, you know, she was a secretary, a bookkeeper, a real estate agent, which she did for over 40 years and retired when she was 85 doing that. She was a substitute teacher, and then she said she was a taxi driver. And we're like, my sisters and I all looked and went, "You were what?" "Oh yeah, I was a taxi driver. During World War II," she goes, "I was in my 20s. Money was really tight. I hadn't met your father yet. You know, your grandparents needed money, so I took a job being a taxi driver." And my sisters and I are like, how have we never heard this? You know, some of you in this room know my mom. She's pretty transparent when she talks about things. So she goes on to recount how she got the job. Somebody she knew from her other job had a taxi and they needed drivers. So she said, well, okay, I'll take a couple hours. She lived in Nutley, and back then, Newark was the place evidently to go shopping. It was either Passaic or Newark. That's where you did all your shopping and so forth. So she said she was doing a lot of runs back and forth there. She talked about, you know, the people that she saw along the way. She did share that once she had to pass up on a ride because it was my grandmother, her mother, and my grandmother didn't know my mother was doing it for a job. She said, thankfully it wasn't raining, but nonetheless, that's my mother. Anyway, my sisters and I were in shock, really, that we learned that Mom was doing this. And she said, my grandfather would have never approved of her doing this job. But she said at the time, money was so tight, it was the height of the war, and they needed every penny they could get. She went on to say that there are many times in life that we'll have to do things that maybe not are ideal. Maybe it's not our dream job. And I'm sure there's a lot of moms and dads in the room who can identify with that one job that maybe they've had that was not ideal. My one sister assembled mouse traps by putting the peanut butter bait in them before she had to box them. That was one summer job in college. My other sister was mowing lawns when she was in high school because she needed money. I had a job sorting baskets in the old small hardware stores where the screws and the nails were all sold in little individual baskets and you could take how many you needed. That was my job. My uncle owned a hardware store and that's what I had to do, was go in on Saturdays and sort nails and screws. Mom always says this, and this is what I want our students to really remember. You're never too good for a job if that job is going to help you make things better. So words of wisdom from almost 97-year-old Margaret Peters. So enjoy your evening. Our freshmen are getting lined up, and we'll be with you in a second. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you the class of 2027. And remember to please hold applause until the last name is called. Amana Abdelaziz. Liliane Almizdar. Rokaya Ali. Valeria Angulo. Luana Aragon. Vivian Augustowitz. Natasha Aviles. Emily Batista Hernandez. Kristine Bermeo Perez. Brian Berthelsen. Emma Bitar. Ivana Racino Hernandez. John Buell. Ava Marie Burton. Kiara Celeste. Mario Churlinov. Josie Crawford. Mia Cruz. Gabriela Diaz Delgado. Chelsea Dorvelis. Marissa Jigel Ingal. Mina Elias. Nicholas Espernasola. Braden Chase Estevez Radula. Dylan Fleming. Bria Flormishnod. Shane Gadare. Sika Gandhi. Caitlin Garas. Melissa Garth. Peyton Greenaway. Sophia Grillo. Neil Harvey. Angie Herrera Garduno. Yasmin Himadi. Zorina Hohodluk. Tiana Horbachkova. Krupa Jarawala. Najah Ijbara. Melina Jimenez. Kayla Johnson. Ryan Najil Jalores. Braden Carney. Alexander Cadle. Caden Kennedy. Claire Kim. Sebastian Kobalars. Nicholas Kowalski. Kayla Kozel. Wyatt Kubanov. Veronica Kozik. Alexander Lansing. Daniel Larwa. Alexia Leon Herrera. Willow Lore. Joseph Lopez. Lucian Lozan. Max Liu. Ethan Martinez. Majd Marshall. Angelica Minowitz. Christopher Mora. Jayla Nevea. Robert Neeson. Leashley Oldfield. Estrelita Orahula Haramachuno. Brian Ozga. Juliana Pilata. Rhea Palmer. Daniela Perilla Youngor. Zina Patel. Othnier Perez. Priscilla Porta. Tahis Portez Felix. Abigail Prawitz. Vanessa Ramos Alvarado. Leslie Rivas Uniche. Ivan Rodriguez. Natalie Rojas. Hannah Salim. Bilal Samo. Derek Sanchez. Kayla Sanchez. Gianna Sanchez Ferreira. Kamisa Scharschmidt. Angel Sarah. Evan Shipley. Danielle Syed. Sophia Syed. Brian Shorley. Hayab Tesfi. Olivia Eunice Hinojosa. Faith Valdivia. Aiden Valenzuela. Kimberly Valente. Ashley Vargas. Jacqueline Vargas. Maria Luisa Vaz. Kaylee Vertiz. Andres Villamarin. Jaden Walker. Ibrahim Waquad. Andrew Wojcik. Matthew Young. Monir Zaki. Sophia Zeisel. James Zuniga. Joseph Zuniga. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2027 and our Mustang Academy. All right, my freshmen, please go rejoin your families. And we'll be with you in a moment. Huh? Yes. And it is time to present to you the class of 2026, our Distinguished Academic Award recipients. And again, we'll just hold all applause until the last name is called. Danya Abuhedba. Walter Acosta. You got it? Okay. Marley Agbe. Jenna Alawi. Jenna Al-Natur. Daniela Altador. Cecilia Arce. Malak Awanda. Melina Benarchek. Caden Behan. Louis Berestein. Alyssa Bracken. Amanda Bracken. Christina Bergoglio. Dexter Calileo. Sebastian Camacho. Jose Castilla Quintana. Jalen Sinar. Bradley Claudio. Maura Coleman. Gianna Colon. Massimo Colucci. Kaylin Crowley. Michael Cruz. Sharon Cruz. Anna de Oliveria. Haley DeSaro. Marek Glugpolsky. Joshua Durante. Zoe Eichhoff. Sabrine Elabeded. Gabriela Esperanacilla. Carolina Parada. Isabella Figueroa. Nicole Florian. Hannah Francis. Michaela Francisco. Asley Garcia. Elaine Garcia Pena. Oscar Gomez. Andrew Gonzalez. Manan Intwala. Saskia Johnson. Aiden Kowalski. Jordan Kulesa. Gabriella Labaki. Kevin Lynn. Mia Malky. Elizabeth Martinique. Tappan Mistry. Jason Molina. Ureli Molina. Anna Monahan. Nathalie Nava Castaneda. Nicholas Norez. Ariel O'Rourke. Sophia Paez. Leo Papp. Anthony Pichardo. Angelina Polanco. Judah Portillo Del Val. Ian Raganundan. Eduardo Ravinas. Amilcar Raimundo Rivera. Sydney Reeb. Graciela Reyes de Jesus. Jose Rivera. Liliana Rodriguez. Alvaro Rodriguez Baez. Nathalie Romero Vera. Nino Rukaya. Haya Syed. Dewu Sajed. Luis Segura Reksha. Nikita Shekotin. Alexis Smith. Benjamin Smith. Fiona Smith. Anthony Stella. Kelsey Tavares. Genesis Tejada. Alicia Vasquez. Liliana Velez. Valeria Velez. Cameron Villanueva. Maria Villanueva Barguil. Mahi Vyas. Olivia Wiglinski. Trinity West. Josephine Zagorski. Brenda Zalawedia. Daisy Zuniga. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2026. Woo! Okay, if my 10th graders would like to take a seat. So as our 10th graders make their way back to their tables, I just want to share a little tradition that we have established here at this event. After 30 plus years of doing this dinner, there are a lot of members of the Clifton community who have been honored in the past as students and now as parents. When I read names, there are names that are reoccurring, like the Eunice Hinosa family, the Rileys, the Colemans, the Gonzaleses, the Rukayas, the Abdelatifs. These are names that have made this academic excellence part of their tradition. So now, if you'll bear with me for 1 minute. Any student being honored here tonight with a sibling, please stand. Any student who is being honored here tonight with a sibling, please stand. We have 10 sets of twins this year. 10 sets of twins. All right, let's have you guys sit. Any student who's being honored here tonight whose siblings have been honored in the past, please stand. Maybe they've gone on and graduated. Would you please stand? Okay, so now, in my 20 plus years of running this dinner, this next instance has never happened. We have triplet 4-year seniors. Could the Murphys please stand? And where's Mrs. Murphy? Mrs. Murphy has to stand. Mrs. Murphy, get your round of applause. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, enjoy dinner, and we're going to be with you in a little while. Thank you. So, part of the job of overseeing this dinner is working with some of our staff to find a guest speaker. A guest speaker is to be someone who graduated less than 20 years from their high school graduation date. They have to be vested in their career. And we usually look for someone who has something unique about them. So when we were starting to look for our speaker this year, the unique feature was that Joe Hathaway, our guest speaker tonight, has something very in common with our seniors. See, the class of 2024 and the class of 2005, Joe's class, were both marked, unfortunately, with a tragic event in history. Our seniors were starting high school in the height of the pandemic. And on Joe's 5th day of high school as a freshman, it was September 11th, 2001. Now, that's kind of a sad thing to link, but follow along with me on this one. When your lives are turned upside down, you start hearing the phrase, "We're resilient, we have strength, we've got this." And I'm going to be honest with you, that is so true of our students. Our students have come back from all the adversities of the online learning, and they've really shown. If you were a student at Clifton High School in 2001, you also know what our students came back from. There was one very similar trait, having been in the building on both those days, was the building was eerily silent. When our seniors came back partway through freshman year, and we started having some days, and kids weren't talking to each other in the hallway. It was quiet. It's never quiet in the East Wing, right, Mr. Honda? Okay. So it was quiet. For the days following 9/11, you could have heard a pin drop in the main hallway of Clifton High School. And that night in itself is a bond. It's an experience that other people don't understand. When I think of Joe Hathaway, I think of someone who always stood out. and not just because he was the tallest kid in the hallway. When Joe was in high school, we didn't have the new walkway yet. Yes, imagine 3,300 students in Clifton High School and one main corridor. Thank you, Board of Education, for taking care of that for us. We appreciate that. We didn't have the new walkway, so you could walk outside, and when it rained, you ran outside, and when it snowed, you slid outside, but you stayed outside as much as you could. When Joe was in high school, we had 0 period, which means you started school before first period. And Joe started his 0 period senior year at 7 a.m. with Mr. Latito in economics class. And we know Joe enjoyed 7 a.m. classes. Mr. Latito shared some memories that we won't make public here. Seniors could leave early. Seniors could leave if they were in work experience. They could leave as early as 4th period. The Echo Center, all our students know, the Duck's House. It was when Joe was in high school that the Echo Center was built, and when the pond was put in, and when the waterfall was put in. That was all part of his time at Clifton High School. Now, when Joe was in Clifton High School, he shined. He was the student that the teachers wanted in class because his teachers have all said he was a leader even back then. Now, Joe ran the gambit of classes. He did English honors, he did Java AP, which I still don't understand what it is. I know many of you in the room can. Mr. Latito, Miss Greco, who you guys know as Miss Van Saders, and Mr. Vakina all said that you were a born leader. Mr. Latito went on to say that even when you were working in groups, you were the organizer. He said you were the one who made sure things got done. He thought it was because Joe just didn't want the low grade that his friends may be bringing in, but he made sure that Joe kind of kept the group together. Joe was a 3-season athlete. He played football for Clifton, number 81, tight end. There we go. He was winter and spring track, where he set all kinds of school records. Joe broke his own school record in the shot put. He set the school record in the shot put in winter track, and then he broke it in spring track. And by the way, that record still stands. So, pretty amazing. Joe, your coaches have shared that the game was never about you and what you could do. It was instead about what the team could do collectively, and you led that spirit. One of my favorite quotes from Mother Teresa kind of sticks out in this, and it says, "The power of humanity is being able to help those around you develop their strengths so that collectively one can move forward." And that, after talking to his teachers and doing some research, Joe, that typifies you. You were a Mustang, and you still are a Mustang. You're what we as educators and parents want our child to be. When Joe graduated Clifton High School in 2005, he held the school record in the shot put. He was all-county, all-league athlete for multiple sports. He was the male athlete of the year. But most importantly, and still to today, Joe was a Mustang. Joe believed in the power of the Mustang pride. And what he learned in the halls of Clifton High School, he took with him on to Yale, where, of what I've read, he did it again. He challenged himself in the classroom and on the athletic field. It was here Joe explored the world of political science, and then he began his life journey. Joe spent 15 years in corporate affairs and communications and politics. He worked for Governor Christie's administration for 4 years. He then moved into the private sector, working in various roles, and is now group director at healthcare marketing agency Real Chemistry. Community holds a very special place in Joe Hathaway's heart. He is currently the deputy mayor of the town of Randolph. And as I said a few minutes ago, Joe always stood out. The quote under his yearbook picture said, "Seize the day, boys. Make your life extraordinary." And well, he has done that, and he has the heart of a Mustang. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you your guest speaker, Mr. Joseph Hathaway.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Schneff, for that very warm introduction. It's a big room. I got to make sure everyone can hear me. It is such an honor to be with all of you tonight, and to be back surrounded by Clifton, to be back, maybe not in Clifton necessarily, but back with CHS. And I can't thank you enough for this honor and this opportunity. One thing Mrs. Schneff didn't say is when she called me to let me know that I'd be speaking tonight, she wisely left me, I couldn't answer the phone, she wisely left me a voicemail as Miss Peters from Clifton High School. Otherwise, I would have thought this was like definitely some kind of prank that someone was pulling on me. But this, again, I'm just so pleased to be with all of you. To the Board of Education, Mr. Hamda, to the administration, and the teachers that are here, thank you for your leadership. I don't think this room would be this full without the hard work all of you do. And to the teachers, I ran into a few of them that were in Clifton during my time. It's great to be around some familiar faces and good to see all of you. Mr. McCunney in the back, I see on the camera. I got to give one more final thank you before I get started. All of us need to thank my wife, Whitney, who's sitting up here with my mom and dad, because tonight is our anniversary. Yeah. So we've been married 9 years, and she was willing to join me here tonight. This doesn't count as our anniversary dinner. I've already set the tone with that. We're going out to dinner over the weekend, so it'll be all right. But for the past couple weeks, I've been thinking about what I would say tonight, and it's been kind of tough. Because what do you say to a room full of students who are already doing it all the right way? You're all here because you already put in the hard work. You already put in the extra hours. You take the extra time to make sure you're achieving and performing in the classroom, on the field, in whatever you're doing. So, I kind of thought, all right, well, there's not a whole lot left to say. But as I thought about it a little more, I started to think about my time at Clifton. And I started to ask myself, what have been the things that have lasted? What have I taken with me from my experience at CHS that has stuck, that's carried through into my career and into my life? And I guess for all of you, the old adage, right? What do I know now that I wish I knew then? I guess. So I'm going to talk quickly about just 3 aspects of being a Clifton Mustang that I think, and Ms. Peters talked about a lot of things that have connected the class of 2005 with the class of 2024. And I think there's a few others, and you've heard a lot about some of these already tonight, but I'm going to try to put a little bit of a finer point on it from my point of view. By the way, I just make that 20-year threshold because I'm 19 years in. That's also a little scary. The first thing I want to talk about that has lasted for me about Clifton High School is the possibilities. The opportunities that you have as a Clifton High School student are incredibly unique. Not every school district in the county, in the state, has the opportunities that we all do. And look, I'll put it out there, right? It's the same when I was in school. It's probably the same now, right? You hear a lot, whoa, Clifton, it's a big school, it's a big size, you can get lost. People see it as a negative sometimes. Let me tell you right now, the size and scale and scope of Clifton High School is not a negative. It is 100% a positive. You have the opportunity to do so many things that other places are not afforded because of the resources and because of the commitment of all of your fellow students and all of your fellow teachers. You can really make of CHS whatever you want it to be. Whether it's academics, obviously for all of you here, that's certainly a major focus, whether it's athletics. Mrs. Schneff and I were talking about, robotics, STEM classes, things that I didn't even have. But really, whatever you want to do, you can do it. You can do it. And if Clifton doesn't have it, you can probably raise your hand and advocate for it. I guarantee you, your teachers and your administration will want to help you find a way to get things done, to try new experiences, to bring new opportunities to your fellow students. The second thing I want to talk about is people. The people, really the people that have come before you, other alumni. And I don't mean that in like a networking sense. I mean it more in the breadth of what's been accomplished by fellow Clifton High School alum. You know, so Whitney and I have two little kids. We have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, so we're big Disney Plus fans. And one of the movies our kids really love is Zootopia. I don't know if anyone's seen that, Zootopia. But in Zootopia, the line is, you know, where anyone can be anything. And I feel like I was like, oh, that's Clifton High School, where anyone can be anything. I think about just in my 4 years, right, from 01 to 05, I graduated with students who are now professional athletes, multiple professional athletes, Broadway actors, doctors, authors with like Hallmark movie channels. Gina Aziz, she's a Hallmark movie author. I guess you could throw, you know, politicians in the mix with me a little bit. But my point is, whatever your dreams are, your aspirations, like, don't for 1 second think you can't do it because, oh, you know, look, I'm just at Clifton High School. I'm just, you know, a kid from Clifton. Like, that is not true. I want to tell you a personal story that resonates with that about me. And it's funny because I just saw recently this kind of came up again. Is anyone in the CAST program? Do we still call it CAST for film and the morning announcements and all that? I told Mr. McConaughey I was going to mention this a little bit earlier, but when I was in high school, I was never in CAST, but I was really into filmmaking. I thought that's what I wanted to do in college, you know, write screenplays, make movies, that kind of thing. And when I was a sophomore, there was a Hollywood director named Ron Maxwell, who's a Clifton High School graduate. And he has directed numerous films, mostly in like the Civil War genre. He directed Gettysburg, was a big film, and the film that he made in 2002 was Gods and Generals. And I understand that he actually recently spoke at Clifton High School at an event. So it's just really funny to me how this story is kind of pulled through to today. But in 2002, we got I guess a flyer or something that Ron Maxwell was going to have the premiere of Gods and Generals at the Clifton Commons at AMC. So for me, as a 15-year-old, this like was the coolest thing in the world. So I went to the premiere, and it was the coolest thing in the world because, you know, sitting in the front row, before the movie gets started, is Ron Maxwell, Clifton High grad, talking about working, you know, with Robert Duvall and Jeff Daniels and these, you know, big major actors. And you know, the funny thing is, I don't think once he actually mentioned Clifton High School. He didn't talk about it, but he didn't have to. Because just knowing that someone who had the same experience as me, who, you know, may have had some of the same teachers or certainly walked in the same hallways as me, was doing something that I like dreamed of doing, that felt so far beyond what I could comprehend. The fact that he was there and I knew we had a shared experience completely changed the game. And it completely changed my perspective on what I could accomplish as a Clifton High School graduate. You know, I hope you all take that with you and think about whatever it is you want to do. Know that there's someone out there who's done it from Clifton, who's graduated and had the same, you know, again, the same experiences, walked the same halls. You know, you really should think about saying, I can do this, when you're faced with something that seems unattainable. Because I'll tell you what, there's plenty of times down the road from now when you're gonna wanna say, I can't do this. And don't ever let it be because, you know, you think you're not cut out for it, because you are, because we've just seen it so many times before. The last thing I wanna talk about, and Mrs. Schneff mentioned this, I don't think she knew I was gonna say this, but pride. Take pride in being from CHS and being a Mustang. It's an incredible honor and an incredible opportunity. It's something that even since I was a kid and playing, you know, junior football, I cared more about, you know, putting on the Clifton C and showing up for my team and for my classmates, and whatever that is for you. You know, if it's athletics, if it's like your varsity jacket, great. If it's academics, if it's other things you're doing to compete in the name of Clifton, right? Take pride in that and take it with you. You know, some people down the road, some people will give you credit for it. Some people might doubt you for it, but embrace it. And never forget that that's where you came from, and always bring that pride with you. I'll tell one last personal story from my time at Clifton. The principal when I was in Clifton was a guy named Bill Canisi, and I don't remember a lot of things that Mr. Canisi said, to be honest with you, but one thing I do remember was when we were graduating, a couple days before graduation, and we were rehearsing, and he addressed the seniors. I'll kind of paraphrase it a bit, but he made the comment, so many people talk about high school as the glory days, and those were the good old days, the best years of my life was high school. And he said, I really hope the best years of your life are not at Clifton High School. And everyone kind of took a step back, not what we were expecting, but he followed it up with, I hope the best days of your life are still to come, and we played a role in helping you get there. And that's what I think tonight really is all about. Because whether you're a freshman and this is your first go-around, or you're a senior, you've been here 4 times, and you're like, thanks, man, I wish you told me this a couple of years ago because I'm on my way out. This is just the beginning. For everyone, this is just the beginning. Clifton has provided an incredible foundation for all of you, but it's the foundation. What are going to be the next steps that you all take? I want to challenge all of you. I know you've all worked incredibly hard to be here. You absolutely have. But do me a favor and do you a favor. As you go on in life and whatever you want to achieve and do next, make your time at Clifton the easiest you've ever worked at anything. Because life is going to be hard, and accomplishing the goals and the dreams that you want to achieve is going to be hard. I can tell you a little bit just with Whitney and I, and serving our community in Randolph as deputy mayor. It's hard. There's a lot of long days, long nights, time away from my wife and the kids. Right? People, Board of Ed knows this probably. People yelling and screaming at you about you didn't pave the road, you did pave the road, right? Like there's a lot of challenges regardless of whatever it is you want to achieve, but you do it because it means something. And you do it because you want to give back and you want to accomplish something and leave the world a better place than it was when you got here. So I'd encourage you again to just continue to work hard far beyond your time here at Clifton. I want to congratulate everyone. You've done exceptional work. The parents in the room, you should all be incredibly proud of your children for being here. I don't actually know that I ever was here when I was in Clifton. Twice. Okay, I was eligible for 2. Definitely not a 4-year. I knew that. I knew I was on 4-year. But look, for all of you, again, whether you're a freshman right now, whether you're graduating in a few weeks, take advantage of the opportunities that you have at Clifton. Remember the people that came before you, and remember that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve, because I guarantee you it's been done already by someone from Clifton. And take pride in being a Mustang. Take pride in it. Bring it with you, because I'll tell you what, it's going to be a part of your story. It's the chapter that's been written already. The chapters that come next are going to be on you and on how much you work and how much you commit and sacrifice going forward. But Clifton will always be part of your story, and I hope, like mine, I hope it's a very cherished part of your story. So thank you again for this incredible honor to get to speak with all of you, to get to take a few trips down memory lane, which is always incredible. And as one of the speakers said before, thank you for letting me be in the midst of what's best about Clifton, all of you. Thank you so much.
As a token of our appreciation, we'd like to present this plaque to Mr. Joseph Hathaway. The plaque reads, with grateful appreciation for serving as honorary guest speaker at the Clifton High School Distinguished Academic Awards Dinner. Thank you for being such an inspiration to the students of Clifton High School, and it's a great day to be a Mustang.
Thank you, Joe. And I didn't embarrass him. I didn't talk about the time he dressed up like the Incredible Hulk at the volleyball championship. You're welcome. You're welcome. Mr. Doctor said I should say it, so. And we do know there are some cast outtakes from certain events that occurred in Clifton High School that you were there for, so. All right, at this time, can we have our juniors please make their way to the front lobby? As our juniors make their way to the lobby, I think I should ask this question of our students. Who knows how many days we have left of school? 18. Your teachers are applauding more. Seriously. Seriously, guys. The only people who understand how much you accomplished in the past few years, the only people who know more than you do are your parents and maybe an Uber driver, I don't know, but they drove you back and forth to so many events. When you think of what you've done, and this is for our freshmen through our seniors, when you think of what you've done, you've reached beyond what your comfort zone was. In the classroom, in the fields of competition, and in the community. Our students are in a point of their lives where they are realizing their voice. And in realizing their voice, they now have to accept the responsibility with it. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. This is a huge event. I know of now 10 other school districts that do a dinner of this type, but not a dinner of this magnitude. So I want to thank you for coming. Bear with us for a few minutes as they finish clearing, and we'll get the juniors up here for you. If we could all be seated, please. And it is my honor to present to you the junior class, the class of 2025 for Distinguished Academic Awards. Again, please just hold all applause until we have called all the names. Layan Abdelatif, Ava Acuna, Famid Aftab, Lujain Elamari, Jahir Anto Suarez, Daniela Antoshanagi, Bethseba Arce Humani, Abdullah Aref, Paris Arroyo, Jonathan Avancina, Nicholas Barano Morales, Jasmine Brown, Ryan Boodoo, Haley Casserly, Juan Castrolon, Ia Castro, Renata Slishlevich, Alara Sinar, Ella Corchado, Juna Crawford, James Quelly, Veronica David, Emily De La Cruz, Mia DeVita, Nicholas Doctor. Angie Ezeru. Eileen Esteban. Olivia Fadil. Meryl Farhan. Justin Theron. Shane Fisher. Jake Guido. Maria Guillen. Viana Gutierrez. Lorna Harvey. Aaron Hatcher. Emily Hidalgo. Maharita Holchuk. Brian Horna. Olivia Irala. Ann James Moreno. Alexander Jemakowicz. Gianna Kennedy. Manur Khan. Evangeline Kohler. April Martinez. Ashley Martinez. Aaron Miller. Alexa Miller. Yasmin Mills. Nicholas Miragliata. Hala Mohammed. Derek Moreno. Samantha Motel. Caroline Mozo. Miranda Munoz. Leslie Naira. Yusuf Noah. Lamar Olive. Evanade Ortega. Camila Pardo Hernandez. Irene Patel. Alyssa Pollock. Casey Pimentel. Gianna Pinto. Seth Porcelli. Om Rana. Armand Risoli. Kendall Reed. Aiden Riley. George Rivas. Melanie Rivas. Jalen Rivera. Navai Rivera. Deandra Robinson. Andrea Romero Vera. Danya Sadeh. Christopher Sanchez. Jamila Sanchez. Ryan Sanchez. Francesca Schiavone. Kennedy Shepard. Delara Semsek. Sarah Syed. Jade Teo. Jose Torres. Sofia Valencia. Megan Belito. Amelia Wilk. Serkan Yaksi. Rulan Yasin. Nazli Yildiz. Wayam Youssef. Adelson Zebalada Picone. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2025. Thank you, juniors. If you could take your seats. And parents, just so you know, over 50% of them are already, if they make it for next year, they'll be four-year seniors. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's okay. As our juniors make their way back to their seats, if our seniors could make their way to the lobby. Now, I know the temptation is great. However, it's 10 after 9. I told the kids we'd be out of here by 9:40. So we're going to hold applause, and then we can have 5 minutes of resounding sound, but we'll hold applause. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2024 seniors. Mina Abdel Kader. Jacob Agudello. Mahmoud Al-Khatib. Melissa Angel. Crystal Beauregard Franco. Madison Bajika. Brian Bobet. Amro Budakaya. Bruce Brown Jr. Angel Cabrera. Cindy Calixto. Anya Kobani. Giselle Coleo. Diliana Collins. Domari Collins. Mia Coronado. Alessandra Cruz. Gabriel Cruz. Gabriela Cuevas. Vitali Datsik. Marco Diaz. Shireen El-Masri. My apologies. Kennedy Dixon. Now it's Shireen. Now it's Shireen El-Masri. My apologies. Amina Fahim. Nathaniel Fisbeck. Daisy Fuentes. Joaquim Giaba. Madison Greenfield. Gavin Gutschestein. Neonli Guzman. Diala Hamad. Camilla Hanoa Arias. Tamara Korkmaz. Shreya Lade. George Mahecha. Jennifer Manzano. Eduardo Mejia. Cyrus Mendez. Carolyn Mikael. Karen Mikael. Brian Miller. Maximus Minowitz. Nicole Modala, Lindsay Molina. Harold Monge. Ashton Morante. Yamel Pena. Raquel Pena Cruz. Sawyer Plachek. Amanda Pursuto. Jocelyn Ramirez. Nidhi Rana. Zina Rawashta, Darian Rivera, Jacob Rodriguez, Jamie Ruiz Espinoza, Alexander Sardella, Hassan Shabib, Adam Shahada, Carly Stoker, Leslie Sarita, Karen Tavares Hernandez, Frandy Tavares Almonte, Adrian Torres, Jamil Torres, Ladani Veras Nunez, Meshva Bias, Samuel Zwiebel. Ladies and gentlemen, our seniors, class of 2024. If our seniors could take their seats, please. Now, these students that we're about to call up, for a minimum of 12 marking periods, they met all the academic awards requirements. Many of them met it for all 16 marking periods of high school. So this is a huge, huge milestone for any student who graduates from Clifton High School. Again, I know our enthusiasm, but if we could just pause, enjoy the moment, and then we'll have that rounding applause when we're done. Ladies and gentlemen, our four-year senior recipients for the class of 2024. Deborah Amo, Isabella Andruk, Kate Arce, Dina Assad, Mata Islam, Patricia Baroud, Axel Barrera, Natalie Bermudez, Samantha Bernal, Merve Cater, Noah Carson, Layla Carasquillo, Isabel Cohn, Aiden David, Gianna Delgado, Jayshel Desai, Sneza Durdick, Lillian Usha, Aiden Farrell, Stephanie Feliciano, Ciara Fisbeck, Mariam Jabril, Eleni Gervasio, Bianca Giordano, Laisha Gomez, Andrea Gonzalez, Brianna Gonzalez, Heidi Gonzalez Pineda, Nathalie Gonzalez Pineda, Chloe Hernandez, Jenna Iannarella. Neil Jarawala. Mia Joyce. Lily Carney. Otilia Cadle. Sonia Lazaridis. Brandon Maldonado. Kiara Martinez. Deep Mehta. Annalise Molin. Krupa Mistry. Marcelo Murphy. Zianmara Murphy. Zeta Murphy. Amira Mustafa. Natalia Myslovich. Adrian Nemeth. Camille Ozga. Fabrizio Paredes. Ashley Perez. Luz Perez Aquino. Skylar Plachik. Ashi Rana. Brianna Rinaldi. Natalia Rivera. Svetoslav Revki. My best. Natalie Rozan. Najeen Sadian. Najati Salim. Stephen Sanwan. Alexander Taliaferro. Valerie Vargas. Brianna Valverde. Brian Weglinski. Casey Wellens. Matilda Jahu. Tatiana Zarowski. Ladies and gentlemen, our 4-year senior recipients. If our 4-year seniors can take their seats, and I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mr. Hamda.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in the night, I'd like to do one of my favorite things that I'm honored to do every year. Thank you, thank you. You're too kind. Thank you. I'm doing a great job, I know. So, I'm honored to have the privilege of announcing our top 10 students every year at the Academic Awards Dinner. So, what I'd like to do now, and what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to read the names of our top 10 students. And when I say your name, please stand to be recognized. Skylar Platchek. Stay up, stay up. Luz Perez Aquino. Deborah Amo. Brian Weglinski. Julia Galick. Lily Carney. Paraskevi Garilari. Priscilla George. Our salutatorian, Liliane Ushah. And last, but literally not least, our valedictorian, Ashirana. Congratulations to our top 10. You guys are an incredible bunch of students, and you have all achieved so much. At this time, I'd like to invite our salutatorian, Liliane Ushah, up for a few words. Thank you.
Good evening, family, friends, and incredible students. Tonight, we gather not just as individuals, but as a community bound by shared values of excellence, dedication, and achievement. On behalf of the entire school, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us here today. To my fellow classmates, we are the heart of our institution. Our relentless pursuit of knowledge, unwavering determination, and passion for learning are truly inspiring. Tonight, we honor our hard work, resilience, and countless achievements. I would like to especially mention our seniors receiving their 4th Distinguished Honor Roll Award this year. Their continuous dedication does not go unrecognized. To our parents and guardians, you're the pillars of strength behind our success. Your endless love, encouragement, and sacrifices have nurtured our dreams and fueled our aspirations. Your unwavering belief in our abilities has been the driving force behind our journey. As we bask in the glow of this evening's celebrations, let us not forget the values that bind us together: integrity, perseverance, and a shared commitment to excellence. Once again, thank you for joining us tonight and for being an integral part of our journey towards success. Congratulations to all award recipients, and may our dreams continue to soar to new heights. Thank you.
Look out, Seton Hall, here she comes. And I am a proud alumni, Mrs. Farrell's a proud alumni. We're so happy. Okay, so this is when Mrs. Schneff usually really cries, but this is my favorite part of the evening. At this time, I want to ask all senior and four-year seniors to stand with their parents, and I want the parents to put their medals on them for the first time, because in 1 month, you'll be putting them on their burgundy robes. Enjoy the moment, Mom and Dad. So as we bask in this moment, I want to say thank you to my co-chair, Mrs. Heather Hall, who was the backbone behind this. I want to thank everyone from the Westmont Country Club, our administration, our district. I want to say thank you. Enjoy your evening. See you on June 20th, and it's a great day to be a Mustang. Good night. Thank you.